working on the Apache. Not really working on it, but originally this had a what they call a road cover on it, and it went, and actually this bar here should be down lower. Somebody has kind of hodgepodge welded, was not me, pieces in here. It looks like they've used JB and I don't know, maybe even some actual welding in there, not sure. But do you see the problem there? This bolt that's here will not allow that piece to go all the way down, so I either need to change that out for a small carriage bolt. Now check that out. You saw it here. You saw it here. I need to either change that out for a flat, smaller carriage bolt, or I need to actually just take this whole piece off and make a new piece here. So this bar should lay flat. The road cover, though, was a cover that went and had these little clips, from what I could find online anyway. And I don't know that these are going to work. This is actually still going at it. I don't know if the camera's in focus or not, but it's pretty impressive. Not every day you get to see that. Let's see if we can find a spot where I can actually test this little clip here. So I think if I kind of tweak with that a little bit, I'm going to be able to get that. It's just a socket holder. You can't buy these anymore, unfortunately. But I think if I flex that out, or maybe buy a different type of socket holder. But these had snaps on them that your top would attach to. They're just, yeah, I think that might actually work. Gonna have to tweak it a little bit, but maybe not. I flattened this one maybe a little too much. They're not quite that flat off the tube here. I'm not. See if we can see the differences here. So that's, I guess he's done. You can see that I've spread this one out a little bit and I flattened these two pins here. Let's see if I can spread this other one out. See, it's too fat to go in there, so it has to be adjusted some, but I think that might actually work. So, go me. So the work has begun on the Apache canvas. This is an Apache Raven 1965. Picked it up really cheap, got a really good deal on it, and it's in great shape. It just doesn't have a canvas. So we are in the process of trying to make that happen. And I have flat felled seamed the two pieces together. This is a 20-foot run for this whole piece. And we're going to try tonight to get the triangle portion of this pinned in and get the lower hem right down here pinned, tucked, and where that needs to be. I did finish the truck canvas. This is it all rolled up. So that is all good to go. Little camera shadow in there. Sorry about that. We got that one all done. I just need to run these little tabs through my metal stays. The metal stays are in there to make the rain gutter that's on the truck. This flap actually runs over on the outside of that, and you won't be able to see that, of course. But you don't want water to run into the cab if this is ever out in the rain. So I made a little lip that fits over that. So if water hits it, it's going to run out. Little metal tabs kind of pooch out a little bit and make that stick out past that. So we're doing with this. I'll turn the camera back on throughout and we'll see what we can come up with. Get some thunder over there. So may get a little storm coming through. Got to replace a mirror on the bus. Turns out these are not designed well. Go down the road and this is what happened. So I was going to just tack weld this backside. And of course, it's made out of like tin or brass or some non-ferrous, non-weldable, at least in my case, metal. And so I'm going to take the mirror out to look to see how those are attached, and I broke it. So the other one I just JB welded, and it seems to be doing fairly well. I don't be able to see, it's too dark. But it actually is pretty strong now, and I did not break it. Turns out when you run the top with the sides down, it is very difficult to see if you don't have a side mirror, because when the top is down, you don't have a rear view mirror. So let me get back on that Apache over there, walk back over that way, and I get it all kind of tucked and buttoned up. We'll turn the camera back on. Actually, walk around the other side here. Cute little design, little door. The original floor mats in it. Really cute design. So we'll pull this sag out and get that good and tight, and then get to him and penning. So yep, we're in the middle of the night again, midnight shenanigans. We're not quite to midnight yet, we got a couple hours for that. And here's what we've got so far. Back up a little bit. So I've got that end piece at least hanging up there. It is not exactly perfect. And what I'm going to do next, I started pinning up, get a flashlight on that. Started pinning up the side, up the roof line. I've got this side down here pinned and started to taper in around the corner there. So I think what I'm going to do is go to the other side and get that far so that we can try and keep this, create a shadow there, aren't I? Try to keep this line down here straight across. And we want that to be the same all the way across. So this is a 4-yard piece of fabric. Exactly 4 yards. I ordered it that way so that I would have 4 to deal with. Measured twice and had them cut once, as my grandpa used to say. And there's none to spare up there on a 60-inch wide piece of fabric. So if you're making one of these, 4-yard piece is exactly what this is. I didn't cut it. Not gonna cut it. I'll leave it just like it is. And I've got about probably 6 inches on the inside on each end that comes in up in this corner. But then down here we don't have that much. We've got about 2 inches in and about 2 inches in up there. So about 4 yards is as minimum as you want to go. But what we're going to do now is just try and get this line. And what I'm going to do, there's no one out here other than me and the neighbor dog. Try to get this straightened out all the way across, measure that from the ground up and make sure we're straight there. And then I'll pin from that point up to the peak so that we know we're at least equidistant from the ground here, so that when we go to put our bungee straps that go under and our straps that hook onto the snap portion right here. If anybody knows where I can find these snaps that were originally on this thing, they snap over this track. We may just have to come up with a different plan for that. But as of right now, we're just going to turn this under. I'm just going to turn that under. Just make it a flat seam with whatever I've got left. So let me get over and pin this side, and then we'll work our way up, and then I'll turn the camera back on. So, finally got the Apache canvas all done. It looks pretty good. There's a couple areas I'm a little disappointed in, but all in all, for having nothing to work on or start with, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. And it does match the bus top. I used the same canvas that I used for the bus, so we have a matching set, so to speak. And then underneath, the canvases, or the Apaches originally had this little knob that was there, and they had triangular pieces that pulled the canvas back and attached underneath like that, so I just stuck with that same plan and then did the panoramic view. So there's the same window spacing in the front, and walk you around over here. Kind of hard to get over here, got things kind of packed in the carport, but I had to put a couple snaps here. I wanted to use one piece of canvas for this, so it's one solid piece, and then I sewed the zippers in on that solid piece and then cut out the zipper area with a hot knife. So it was sewed completely flat panel, and then I sewed the zippers on the back side and then went in with a hot knife behind and cut them out and then sewed the screen on. So that's what we've got.